Hello and welcome everybody to another installment, or should I actually say the first installment of the official Gunner's Voice podcast. Guys, thank you to everyone that tuned into our last few live streams. I've had some really good feedback. Love the interactions that you guys have left on the channel, on the content. Please continue to subscribe, follow all the socials, get in touch, and who knows, you could be the next one on the panel. So, without further ado, guys, I'm so excited to announce the panel for tonight. In my top right-hand corner, so where I'm looking, the guy that's directly next to me, I've got Mr. Ramiz Bamji in his nice
Thank you.
black Arsenal shirt. Welcome to the podcast, bro. Obviously making your debut.
You. Thanks for having me.
Pleasure. And then obviously below him there, we've got one of my good friends from way back in the day, Mr. Sean Menzie. How you doing, my brother?
Easy just, brother. Thank you for having me.
Nah, it's so welcome, bro. Pleasure. And then to a homie that I actually met at Cracker Zach's. And the reason I actually approached this guy because he was wearing another long sleeve shirt. He had his name on the back. I was like, no ways, bro. Who's this guy rocking this? I got my man, the city over there just below me. Welcome to the podcast, brother. Nice to have you.
What's up, guys? Thank you for having me. Hey, Shan, I appreciate it, brother.
Hey, awesome, gents. So I hope everyone's well. And without further ado, guys, I think I know we've got a game later today, and I know that's where our focus should be. But obviously, we can't ignore the elephant in the room, and that's the big game on Sunday against City. Late kickoff. Obviously, all eyes on us on that fixture. And let me go straight to Ramiz, bro. Obviously, we're going to be missing the always influential Martin Odegaard, which Ateta confirmed he's going to be missing for a while, which I'm okay with the news because, he didn't say it's a definite couple of months. He said a while. So, maybe it's a bit of mind games. Maybe it's, a slightly extended period. But how do you think the team will get on without obviously having the captain and Maestro in the midfield there?
Look, it's a big loss, Shan. It's a big loss. Like you said, I hope so too that it's some sort of mind games and he's mainly maybe only out for a couple of weeks. Hopefully it's a short time period, but it's a big loss. I said so before the Spurs game as well, when we knew he's definitely missing the Spurs game, that we'd miss him, especially in the final third. His decision making, his final passes, so his chance creation is unbelievable. And you could see I understand we changed our tactics a bit against Spurs to be a bit more defensive and try and hit them on the counter, based obviously the way Spurs play as well. But you could see we missed him a lot in terms of that final pass in the final third, and I think he's going to be a big loss. Obviously hard to replace the captain. I do feel though we do have players who still can turn it on for us up front, going up forward, especially with Trossard. I think he can come in that 10. Havertz has shown us now and then he can put a shift in the midfield. I think the most important thing, and it showed against Spurs as well, is keeping that defense tight. And I think getting him more and more minutes after that 1 year out at left back, I thought he was amazing. So I think keeping that defensive stability, which is I think our strongest point at the moment, is so important, especially while we have our main almost chance creator out with injury, is keeping it tight at the back. And obviously whatever chances we get going forward, make sure we take them.
100%, bro. So obviously, like you said, I think and obviously, we do boast an impressive defensive record. So I think that will hold us steady. It's just my only concern is, you might not concede, but if you're not scoring, you're only picking up 1 point along the way. So, I think for us, we're going to have to really find a way of creating chances. And look, if it means that we capitalize on our strength, which is our set pieces, and you win 1-0 for the next 4 games, I don't think any of us are vexed if you walk out of the Etihad and out of Atalanta tonight with 3 points, having scored 1 goal or 2 goals in those 2 games. I think 3 points is the most important thing. It's still early on in the season. And let me bring in Menzi there. Menz, bro, do you agree with Ramiz's sentiments that we just have to obviously maybe look at different avenues of winning games, or do you think that we might actually just see that Odegaard's miss might actually affect the team in the long run? No, obviously we didn't have him for 1 game now, but possibly maybe for 5-6 games. Do you think that actually takes its toll, or do you think we've got enough in the squad to get it done?
Look, the squad is thin, right? That's my first opinion. The squad is actually spread pretty thin, but this is something that Arsenal has been missing for a long time. If our key players go missing, the whole squad goes missing. So if we want to contend for the league, like we've been doing for the past 2 seasons, and we've come to this point where we have an injury to our captain, and we had a yellow card to Rice, etc. We have to prove a point. We have to go forward from this point. Put in whoever you need to put in. If we have to play with Jorginho and Partey, and maybe slot in Rice as a 10, if you would say, or maybe 2-8 with Jorginho and Partey, whatever must happen. It has to happen for us to find a way to win games without key players. There's going to be a time where we'll also play without Saka, and we have to find a way to win. You get what I'm saying? So at this point, I feel that Ramiz is 100% right in what he's saying. But in the same aspect, I just really think that no matter what happens, we have to find a way to win. There's no ways we can blame our captain not being there. It'll just show that we're a one-man team. And I don't think that we're a one-man team. There's so many players that can slot in. If we have to play without that chance creator 10, then play without that chance creator 10. You get what I'm saying? If Marino comes back, then we can play with 2-8s, etc., etc. I just feel that's what we have to do. We have to adjust, and we have to find ways to win without those key players.
100%, bro. And I think, before I let you jump in there, I think we have no better manager than Arteta. I think every single season Arteta has learned to win or do things a bit differently. So, obviously, I think it's also down to the players. So we can put a lot of pressure on Arteta, but sometimes you need your players. Like, for you there's no point in, like I say, like having a Jorginho, a Partey, a Sterling with that much experience. A Jesus even, Jesus is slightly younger, but he's still experienced. There's no point in having all that experience if we can't count on you. In my opinion, then I might as well play 1 year in Lewis Skelly. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't have Odegaard, but doesn't mean that we have an inexperienced team. I think Arteta's done brilliantly to almost, like, he's balanced the squad more, in my opinion. When you have a young front three of, for example, Havertz, Saka, and Martinelli, you can bring in a Saka, Trossard, and Jesus, which I'm sure in the three of them have close to maybe 800, 900 Premier League games. You know what I'm saying? If that's not enough, then I don't know what more Arteta can really do. If those players he can't depend on. So let's say, bro, let me bring you in here. Obviously the guys are giving their opinions, but do you think we definitely get it done without Odegaard? Especially, obviously, we're talking right now about Man City, but Man City is not a defining game as we saw last season. So do you think that Odegaard's loss we can maybe compensate for in other games, and the City game maybe just maybe look for a point, or what are your thoughts, bro?
I think we go for all three, showing that last season City couldn't beat us in the league. That's one thing that we have to firmly agree that our defense is like literally the best in the league. With David Raya winning the Golden Glove, like I really, really back our chances in defense. Like as Ramiz was saying, like we just keep a low block and maybe try pinch something on the counter, or we just utilize our set pieces. I honestly think we can get all 3 points and just keep it moving. And I like what Menzi said there with, we have to have depth. If it means that we play with 2 8s and one holding midfielder, like with Rice and Partey or Rice and Jorginho as our 8s, like let us do that and, figure out a way that we can, play around that City system, because with Rodri back as well, that's another problem that we might have to face, because that man just bosses any midfield he plays in. But I think with Jorginho's intelligence, with Partey and Rice's work rates, I mean, there's only so much Kevin De Bruyne and Gundogan can do to stop that midfield, because as much as pound for pound City have great players, we also have really good players. And I like what you've also said there with, we do have depth. We do have like a leveled kind of team, a balanced kind of team. If our midfield is strong, we do have a good attack with Sterling as well, bringing in a new introduction. He's someone that hasn't played in an Arsenal system yet as like a full 90 minutes. But if he can come in and, really work well with the link up with Havertz at holding the ball up nicely, I think we're in for a good game on Sunday.
100%, and I think that's a brilliant caveat, bro. Obviously, that actually brings me to our next point of discussion for the show today. Is Man City, guys. These guys are going for 5 in a row, coming off a 4-peat, treble a couple seasons ago. So I just think, they definitely deserve the respect. But let me ask you guys: do you think? Let me go back to the City. The City, bro. Do you think? And you said we should go for the 3 points. Do you think City are beatable this season, or do you think what? It's, if you look at history, beating second place or beating your direct rival doesn't necessarily mean that you win the league. So do you think that media and fans are putting more pressure on this game than there is, given the fact that it's also only game week 5, bro? What are your thoughts on City, obviously so far this season, and if it's a must-win game for us on Sunday?
I think any top 6 team is a must-win game. We realize that even if we drop points to Villa, it's going to hurt us. That 2-3 points, or Newcastle when we drop points there, those 2 points really matter. Who else did we lose to or draw to? Fulham last year. So every game, in my opinion, is a must-win game. I think there is a lot of hype and a lot of, clout around the City game this weekend, and rightfully so. First and second place 2 seasons running, we deserve the respect. To be matched up with Manchester City, the likes of the great Manchester City. I think to go 4 Premier League titles in a row has to be commended. You know what I mean? So for us to be even in the same like chats as them, I honestly think we can definitely do something. But yeah, man, I think we really do stand a good chance of winning, in my opinion. Just because like we're a good team, man. Like I can honestly say that Arsenal is one of the best teams in the Premier League. So yeah, if anybody wants to argue, there are stats to back it up. We've developed
100%.
as a team. We've
We
shown
just
that
need
we
that
are.
trophy.
We just need
We
that
just need
trophy.
that trophy. We just need
Oh,
that trophy.
I'm sitting with the community shield behind me, and it's not enough. It's not enough. Not enough.
I hate that thing. Oh, wait, I hear you. No,
Let me jump to Ramiz there. Ramiz, bro. Obviously, the city is seeming quite confident. Thinking that not thinking, but he's confident that Arsenal can get the result done on Sunday. And obviously, that's from the Arsenal perspective. But from a City perspective, bro, obviously, there's Haaland, there's Rodri, De Bruyne. Do you think this current Arsenal squad, like I said, with the likes of Martin Odegaard missing, has enough to worry City, or do you think that City just are looking like imperious? Like let's not be wrong. They might be conceding quite a few goals here and there, but they're still scoring an
Yeah.
absurd amount. And obviously, you got Haaland there that's banging them in. So, just your thoughts, bro. What are your thoughts on City so far, and like what challenges do you think we'll face?
Obviously, yourself, Shannon, said that we've got to give City the respect they deserve to go 4 in a row, and honestly, on the way to make 5 in a row. You've got to give them the respect they need. I like what Lisette is saying, that almost every Big Six game is a must-win. The way Pep has made the league is you almost have to be perfect to beat him. We've seen Liverpool in the past go 97 points, still not enough to win the league. So that's what you need, And the way City is looking this season, they are looking sharp. Haaland is looking unstoppable. I watched them a bit last night against a tough defending Inter Milan side who played the low block, who frustrated them at times. And I feel that's what we might go to again this season when we go into the Etihad, because that's what we went there last season and did. And I don't know if you guys remember, there's a couple of times where we went there at the Etihad last season where we forced them to we basically caused them to panic, but we win the ball back. And in transition, there was a time, I think it was Trossard who went down the line. And if we had crossed the ball to, I think it was Saka coming in, we go and we smash and grab that game. We win the game 1-0. We left there with a point, which isn't a bad result. I think Jose Mourinho always said, against your rivals, if you don't win, don't lose, especially away from home. So I do feel this season, I feel we've strengthened. Yes, injuries are obviously dampened us. It came at the wrong time. And I feel the media are almost, I don't want to say over-exaggerating the game, but whenever it's Arsenal involved, it's almost as if every game is a must-win, because then it's always a case of, same old Arsenal, don't have enough to get over the line. Because, when it is Arsenal, we do obviously get a bit of stick from the media, as always. So I do believe we do have what it takes to get there. Once again, we might be limited in terms of chance creation, but we have to make sure we take at full advantage of any set pieces or any half chances that come our way. I feel we can go there and get a result. This season, I do believe we're defensively strong enough, and we've got match winners in the team. Like you said, Sterling, maybe he hasn't played enough, or he hasn't played in the Arsenal system, but he's got that experience. He's got that moment in him where he can win a game for you. Not sure if he'll get obviously many minutes, but he has it in him. So too Saka now. He's obviously maturing as he goes on. He's no more a youngster in the team. He's an experienced player. He's someone also who can win your game. He just needs a moment. And I think that's always important to have. You see, City has Haaland, who just needs a moment to win a game. We've also got those players coming up. So I feel we shouldn't go there and feel as if we're inferior. We should match them pound for pound, because we actually, if we aren't, we lost the league to them 2 points last season. So I do feel we're at the same level as them. We just have to go there and believe in ourselves and actually go for the win.
Yeah,
100%. So, I agree with a lot of what you said. I think also when it comes to the media, and it's different, bro. It's like, we're only in the fifth game of the season. If this is like fifth last game, then I'd be like, maybe we need to win. But like nothing is defining in the fifth game of the season, guys. I don't care what you tell me. Like City are not gonna be perfect. There's just too many games. Generally speaking, there's too many games. Champions League, Carabao Cup, League. The quality of the league is improved. I think the Invincibles and what people think they can do, that was like that's an anomaly, guys. And the league and the competition has just gotten tougher. I mean, Brentford last week could have easily been 2-0 up in 15 minutes against City.
Yeah.
15 years ago, you're not having that really that often, where you think a lesser club can go to a big team and get a result, and then you're talking about like moments. I think that's also what Arsenal going to have to really rely on, because I think when you go to City, they are a better in possession team than us. I think they've got better technical players than us, so we're gonna slightly concede to them there. But I think where City have match winners, maybe in the midfield and in attack, they don't have that in defense. We might not have match
Mm.
winners per se, or our strongest quality might not be attack, even though we scored a lot of goals last season, or our midfield on Sunday. But I think if you look at the defensive side of the game, I'm including Rice, I'm going to include Party, and maybe if Jorginho plays, and then obviously the back four and the keeper. I think that's we've got a stronger unit there than City. So it's going to be more of a game whose strengths give in or weaknesses give in. Does
Yeah.
City's defensive frailties? I mean, they've conceded quite a few goals. Does that come into play over the weekend, or like is their quality in Haaland and in match winners like De Bruyne, Foden, will that come, or will we just cancel each other out again? It's going to be quite an intriguing game. And Menzi, bro, obviously, we've heard the guys speaking, obviously myself too. What are your thoughts on City, bro? Do you think that, maybe this is the game where we can actually
I think we lost Jan a bit there, or was it me?
Yeah, I thought everybody else froze. Yeah, I think we lost Shannon.
Now he'll be back soon.
Yeah,
But yeah, man, I think you
Shit.
can leave
I'm
your thoughts there. Leave the thoughts.
That's it this weekend.
Actually, you know what? Nah, I don't know how to feel about this weekend. I really I've got mixed feelings solely because we're missing Odegaard, right?
Yeah,
But at the same time, like I said earlier, this is another test. We have to stand up and we have to actually go
Yeah.
there and beat them. Forget about what's happening with City, whatever. I think their defense actually is quite weak, and we should actually just expose that with players like Kai. I watched Diaz a lot last night, a little bit actually.
Yeah.
He gets sucked into the midfield very easily. If a player like Kai can pull him into the midfield, and you've got your Trossard running off of him, and you've got your Saka running off of him, we're in for it with a chance. And if you look at it, I think we do stand a chance. We're the underdogs. We mustn't forget that. Everybody's looking at us as if we're gonna go there and catch a hide because we don't have Odegaard. We weren't meant to have Rice. We don't have our new signing Marino. So we're not actually doing much. You get what I'm saying? So people are looking at us like we're dead. Glad you're back. Glad you're back. So people are looking at us like
no worries.
I've noticed a lot of people, like fans that I talk to, friends of mine, they're looking at us like as in we are going to lose. We were meant to lose against Spurs. Tonight they hate watching that we're going to lose. And since Sunday they're going to hate watch that we're going to lose again. And I really don't think we're going to lose these next two games. I think we might actually come up with results. I don't know how, but I'll bet that.
You know what it is, means. I think that what sorry guys, if you don't mind me jumping in. What I think happens with a lot of the fans is that media as well. Arsenal fans are probably one of the most reactionary fan bases, so it's easy to trigger us. We find out and I think I said it to my brother, I said it to my wife when we were somewhere one day, and I think it was actually the opening game of the season. I watched the first half. After that, I was like, "Nah, we're gonna win." I think Havertz scored the header, and then I was like, "I'm not gonna." I'm that confident in the team now. I know we're a good team. You can't gaslight me. I'm not saying we're the best team. I'm not saying you're not gonna gaslight me into thinking we have no chance against City. City didn't score. They didn't score against us in the league last season.
That's
I think if the problem is their defense. If we can actually expose their defense with the counter, Martinelli's super fast.
Yeah.
Kyle Walker, what are they going to play? Rico Lewis most probably right.
No, but even if Kyle Walker on there, he's defensively sometimes he loses concentration, moves out of position, goes into places he shouldn't be, and we can capitalize on that as well.
There's moments that we should be having, and I think we might just stand a chance because everybody's written us off. I think even City might just think they have this in the bag because they've been running out of the blocks. They've scored so many goals. Their Haaland is on fire, like we said. Not even on fire, he's a robot. De Bruyne is cooking. Foden just got back. Rodri's back. So obviously everybody's looking at it as if Arsenal doesn't even have their full strength midfield. So they're gonna be run over. Jorginho in that midfield has no legs. Party has no legs. So there's just so many negativities against us. But I just think we have a chance.
Listen, I think we.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, guys.
Without defense, is like
you can jump in.
I think without defense, like it's no question. Like you look at a fully fit Arsenal defense, we've got Ben White, Gabriel, Saliba, and Julian Timber in the back four. David Raya in like the form of his life, you can argue. I think there's
Ricky's
and with Rice back in the heart of midfield. Our back five is solid. Like I don't doubt that for a second, but I just want to go back to what Remy said at the beginning, is that if we can just hold them off and, you know, maybe play on the counter or get that set piece that we're so very clinical of, you know, this game can easily be ours. You know what I mean? Like that's why I'm so confident, because I know defensively we are a sound team. You know, 17 clean sheets in the league, or 17, or was it 16? Like that's almost more than half, you know.
But also our
So,
away record, I think we've only conceded 3 away goals this year, or something along those
in
lines.
2024, literally.
That's exactly it, bro.
2024,
Guys,
what was it?
I think
2 against 2? I can't even remember. It's 3.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, the most impressive stat when you look at Arsenal's away stats is not even the goals conceded. Guys, we haven't trailed for 1 minute. We've never been behind in any away game. Like,
that's scary, man.
guys, I genuinely think people.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying, but we haven't even been behind. Like, besides you scoring at your home ground, you've never taken the lead against us.
Yeah.
And people forget our highest scoring games were away last season. 6-0 at West Ham, 5-0 against Burnley, 5-0, or was it 6-0 against Sheffield United as well? We didn't score that. We don't do that well at home, because at home we don't get the freedom that we might get, you know. And against City, I think I feel a lot more confident. And I don't know if you guys remember the games last season. Sterling had City on freaking beans, bro. He had them on tight. Both games, home and away. Against Walker, Walker can't handle Sterling. It's genuinely, I watch him. I'm like, this guy is terrified of Sterling. So I think, you know, where I think Jesus sometimes when he plays against City, he kind of overdoes it. Same with Zinchenko, gets too passionate. I think Sterling's got a bit more like ice about him. He just, I don't know, those games he tends to show up, you know. And Sterling is really a big game player, guys. You know, Sterling's record is really good in the big game. So whether he starts, whether he comes on, I think if we can have Martinelli and Sterling going against Kyle Walker, Rico Lewis for 90 minutes, I think it's kind of even. You know, if they have to do a change, for example, between the 2 fullbacks, looking at our 2 left wingers, I give us an equal chance of getting advantage over them, just as much as I think they could stop us from scoring. So, like I said, I think, you know, a lot of fans, a lot of pundits, they enjoy the hysteria and the you know, when the perceived calamity around our club. Whereas an Arsenal fan, I'm super calm, bro. Like, okay, you don't have Odegaard. I've made peace with that before, during international break already. Marino, we knew pre-international break. Cool. Zinchenko, I'm frustrated because like Zinchenko and Tomiyasu are 2 players that I cannot count on, and it's like I would rather it be one. I'll keep one of them. I'd rather keep Kivio, guys. Genuine. Kivio,
100%.
he's there, he's available, he can get better. He can get better.
But you know what? Sorry to butt in. I think one thing you must remember: Tomiyasu, when he's fit, is so necessary, so consistent. He's one of the exactly. He's one of the. Remember something, right? No, listen. Yeah, Timber we need for definite. But what if I don't want Timber to get injured again? But if it happens, the best player for that position is Tommy. You can't put anybody else on that inverted left back with the right foot besides Tommy, and he does it so well. You have to give him credit for that. I mean, especially what if Ben White gets injured, right? Now we have to, who we're going to put at right back? We have to put Timber. Who's going to come in and play that left back position and interchange with either Kivio, Calafiori, or Tommy? You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think honestly, as much as I did like Zinchenko, he has to be the one to actually depart, unless he's going to be used in the midfield.
I don't know.
Calafiori, guys.
Calafiori like also offers us that.
We all thought about our new signing because I haven't seen him play.
Man.
Honestly, we're in for a treat there. We're in for a treat there.
Yes.
I saw somebody said Kali at left back. Yeah, definitely. He can play left back, that boy.
Like, I don't know if you guys watched him for the Italy game when he got hurt now in the international break. I didn't expect him to be so comfortable with that inverted role coming into the midfield. So Calafiori is also someone we can have. Also, the way Timber played on the weekend, I don't think he's droppable at the moment. It was his first 90 minutes he played, but it looked as if he hasn't been. He's been there. He seemed like a seasoned vet the way he played on Sunday.
100%.
He has to stay that left back right now. If Ben White stays fit or Ben White needs to take a rest, Timber plays along that whole back line for me. Well, not at centre back, but right back and left back. He has to play there. He has to be in every game. He's too. He's become what Kyle Walker was for City. You see Kyle Walker when all that tracking back that he does. That's what I see with Timber. That's who he is.
What I love about our defense is that all 5 of our, there's 5 of our out wing backs or outside backs, they can all play in the central defense. So Calafiori can play left centre back, or if Gabriel or Saliba gets injured, we still covered. So that's one thing that I just wanted to add into everything that we're saying, is that our versatility at the back is so crucial. Having players that can control the ball in midfield. I think maybe Zinchenko's the only one that can't really fill in at centre back, but then again, if he leaves, I don't think we have a dent in our team, if I'm being very honest.
Yeah.
No, 100%. Sorry, I think that's a good caveat as well. Now to just talk about some of the team news for us in particular going into the game. I'll touch quickly on City. I mean, De Bruyne went off yesterday at halftime. I think maybe it's more precautionary. I don't expect him to be out. I'll be very surprised if he doesn't make the game. I don't believe Pep saying, "Oh, we'll see." De Bruyne he'll play. You know how it is. Guys are always shocked to play against Arsenal. Guy's got a broken leg, miraculously, boom, he's fit. You know what I'm saying? It's just how it is. And ultimately, yes, City have a strong squad, but I think, and obviously we're going to speak team news now, Declan Rice being back is going to be a huge plus, because we're not going to have a lot of the ball, and we're going to need his legs to carry. When we do have the ball, I need to see Rice burst through that midfield, bro. I need to see him carry that ball. Let Jorginho and Partey, knit the passes together for you. Let him be our box to box, which it's a bit unorthodox, because maybe you'd say Havertz drops in, but I'm liking Havertz at centre forward, guys. I don't want to think of that. I would say bring Trossard out, because I think he can come on second half and even score. No. It's not even. It's not an insult. It's another weapon in our arsenal to say like that you can bring on like a certified bagsman in Trossard when you know the game's a bit tight, because. If you're gonna ask me who I can bank on scoring, and like Ramiz was talking about, you gotta be. Yo, sorry guys, I don't know what's happening with my connection.
No worries, man.
I hope you guys can hear me, but I was saying.
Yeah, we can hear you. I think he's gone again.
Oh my word.
I think they played
Trossard. What would you say?
But yeah, Ramiz,
what were you saying?
Trossard situation, eh?
Oh, sorry guys, sorry man, sorry about what's going on with my Wi-Fi tonight. Yes, see, it's actually bugging. What I was basically just saying is that I think that I would guarantee, like if a chance is gonna fall to us, that like Ramiz was saying, might mean we need to it's gonna be scarce. We have to take those chances. Who do you count on to score? I'd count on Trossard. Hence why I don't mind taking him out, because as the game goes longer, it's going to be more on City to win than for us. They're the home team. The onus is on them. So when the game is a bit more stretched and we have our chances, which you definitely will, I would like for Trossard and probably in the second half to be there to sweep that up. But let's talk team news, guys. Like I said, we got Declan Rice back, Calafiori back. You got Tumba having such a good game. Would you guys make any changes for Sunday's game? Let me go to Ramiz. Ramiz, would you make any changes looking into Sunday's game? Or
I think the back four stays the same. We don't change them. But they were magnificent. Rice coming back, I think immediately back into the 11. I think he sits next to Partey. I honestly do feel like because we're gonna need legs in the midfield. So that's City's most important part with Rodri and all of them. I do have this feeling Arteta might move Havertz in the 10 because he can't put in a defensive shift. I do feel like he can do that. He can bring that physical edge with Havertz, Rice, Partey, all physical, all can move across the pitch. I feel like he's going to move Havertz in the 10. Saka, obviously, guaranteed to go off the right. Martinelli, because of the work he does off the ball, I don't know if you saw how many times up and down he went against Spurs, winning the ball from Pedro Porro and that when he was bursting down. I think Martinelli, because of what he does off the ball, definitely starts down the left. And I just have this feeling he might move Jesus up top. Just for that, when City step up, when, Diaz steps out of position, on the counter attack, obviously, Havertz, Jesus with a bit more legs might obviously stretch them a bit. So I do feel like just because of it's up against City, because it's against a very good midfield, he moves Havertz into the midfield next to Rice and Partey. That's what I'm thinking Arteta's going to do. And to match them strength for strength in the midfield, I don't think it's a bad option. Even though I want to see Havertz as a 9, I do feel like just for that game itself, I don't think it's a bad thing.
100%. I think I would have to agree with you in that sense. when you're talking about maybe moving Havertz into the midfield, like I said, maybe Havertz can do the role I'm expecting Rice to do. Maybe Party holds, dictates, Rice sweeps up, and Havertz is the ball carrier into midfield, and then obviously if you can feed Saka and Martinelli, even though Martinelli is not on good form, he strikes me as the type of player that would not score for 13, 14 games and then score against City.
Yeah,
Like he literally strikes me as that kind of player. You know what I'm saying?
He did it last
Let's
year,
say,
so
yeah, exactly, bro.
Mm.
Let's say, in terms of the team news, bro, would you go like with Ramiz? How are you feeling about the changes that obviously we're seeing now with Calafiori back, Declan Rice, or do you think the players from Sunday have earned another like starting berth, or do you think what that was who we had available? Let's actually just bring in who was supposed to be in originally.
I think I agree with Ramiz a lot in terms of keep the back four the same. We bring Rice straight back in, and then he plays alongside Partey. But I think instead of Havertz coming into midfield, I think we have Trossard there in that 10 role, and then we keep that same system because having that big centre forward that can hold up the
yeah,
ball as well is so crucial to our game. And Kai Havertz does that exceptionally well. He still covers a lot of ground. He still presses keepers. He's still, very much involved in the game at 9. I think bringing him out of his comfort zone where he is now could like shift our team dynamic a bit. So I think Trossard is very comfortable in midfield, just occupying that Odegaard role for a bit. And I think that's maybe the little bit of glue that we might need to put onto the team until Odegaard is fully fit. And then I would even say, maybe we keep the front three the same and just add Trossard into the 10 role. I think that's our biggest shot for me right now. But
Hundred
I
percent, bro.
do hear the Jesus chat at 9 is also a very good one, but
I think in the
I just
Spurs
don't
game,
know.
you saw Havertz and Trossard interchanging a lot during the game. One was at 10, one was at 9, and interchanging a lot. Havertz obviously spent more time in the 9, especially when it was balls played up long to him. But I think
Yeah,
with Havertz, you can always have that interchanging, one coming into 10, one going to 9, and obviously also brings that bit of mobility and flexibility in the team. It's also not
yeah.
a bad. Yeah,
100%.
I
Menzi,
I
bro, what are your thoughts, bro?
I hear both. Like what Rami said is it's pretty like consistent. Like well, not consistent. Like it's accurate. Like if you put Jesus in that role, there is a different dynamic that he adds. But I'm kind of with Daddy on this one because I think we keep that whole team the same as on Sunday. Let's push Trossard in that 10 for a little bit more. We might as well. We don't have another player that can actually play as a 10 besides him.
Yeah,
I think if we were to change anything, depending on what type of defenders we are facing tonight, then you could maybe swap your uh, put Havertz at 8 next to Rice and have 2 8s play. But I think for now, just keep that team the same because I kind of like Trossard at 10, and then also with Martinelli because you don't know what he can produce. He's not much of a
yeah,
runner on the left anyway, so starting him
yeah,
on the left wouldn't have been one of the greatest ideas right now. So I think start him in at that 10, put Rice back in, let Jorginho take a rest because we know we might need him on Sunday.
yeah.
Yeah, just keep it the same. And I think we might actually just come away with something because also Rice needs to get back to form as well. He's also not been on the best form. So I think a game like tonight could actually bring something out of him after missing
yeah.
Saturday's game.
And I think
If I may ask, though,
oh yeah, carry on,
sorry,
Chan.
Mies, bro. If I,
Yeah,
if
take
I
it.
do, if I may ask, what do you guys think about maybe Havertz and Jesus? Maybe Havertz playing, because Jesus does tend to drop into the false nine anyway, and having Havertz in the
Hey,
8 maybe can, Havertz. I know. Listen, I get. Don't change like a fixed system. Like it's nothing
yeah,
broken. I'm just thinking that from from just to maybe give something for City to think of something differently because I don't like Jesus. Well, I didn't like him on the left wing. I
Mm.
wouldn't
yeah,
mind him on the right wing because he did really well on the right wing position in our home game last season, and obviously centre forward. On the left wing, I don't know. It's so weird. Like you would think that a player that's right-footed, so technical, would be really good coming in onto his stronger side, but he looks more versed on the right hand side. I would have Sterling on the left rather. So I'm just
Mm.
thinking for City and the way they play, the pockets that we might be able to play, and I think Jesus and Havertz might have a good link up. And like you're saying, Havertz still offers you that physicality in the midfield. He's got great running stats. He's very good in the duel. He's a
yeah.
he's maybe a lesser Marino in that position, but obviously with a more of a goal threat. So I don't know. What do you guys thoughts on that? Maybe bringing Jesus in and dropping Trossard, and then obviously having Jesus and Havertz interchanging like Trossard and Havertz.
Can
I
I
think
just
the only.
jump in?
Oh, let's say take it away. Sorry.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I don't want to talk too much about it. I'm just having flashbacks of that Villa game at home when Jesus started and
Yeah.
Havertz went into the field. I think if we risk it now against a team like Manchester City, I think we've given away another 2 points or 3 points at most. But that's just all I have to say on the Jesus situation. But Ramiz, take us away, bro.
What
I
the
think
hell on this
keeping
Wi-Fi?
keeping Havertz as the 9 brings you
Fine.
that bit of height and physicality, especially what crosses into the box. We saw it in the league opener when Havertz scored the winner, or not the winner,
Yeah.
the opener. That he gives us that basically that dynamic where we can put balls into the box, and he's a threat. There was a couple times against Spurs also. There was one Vicario pulled out, from a header from Havertz. So I think having him as the 9, obviously, it gives us that we don't have to always be all tiki taka playing through the lines. It gives us the option of just putting it in the box and let him challenge it for it. So I mean,
100%.
like that Villa game where we had Havertz sitting next to Rice in the midfield with Jesus up top, you could see we were completely off that day. That was obviously for sure probably the worst home performance we've had in a long time. So
100%.
I don't know if we should repeat that, especially away from home at City. I think it's very important to win that midfield battle. Leave Havertz as far up the pitch as possible because that's where he's dangerous.
Yeah.
I think starting Jesus right now might just be detriment to everything that we're trying to do. Because here's the thing: if you remember last season, we started him consistently the first five or six games, and then we started playing Havertz in that role. And if you look at the games that we played with Jesus starting, it was pretty shaky. We weren't as consistent as what we should be because of his chance missing. He misses huge chances. The one against Spurs where we drew 2-2. You get what I'm saying? Although yes, Havertz also does miss his fair share of chances. I will give him that. But it's just that there's a different element that we have with Havertz. Havertz gives us that power up top. He gives us that battle. He makes defenders think more. So with Jesus, the defenders are only going to put it, say, okay, cool, he's going to put it on his feet, definitely. We know where he's going to go. With Havertz, he can either flick it on, he can chest it, bring Rice into play, bring Partey into play, then there's a counter attack, whatever. So I think Havertz has to keep that role for now, up until maybe even the whole season, even if we get a strike at the end of the season or in January.
I think I like my chance about having Trossard there also because, like you said, he's a certified bagsman. I mean, the game against Villa, I was screaming out for him the whole game. He comes on, one chance, one goal. I think he's probably the most clinical we have in the team. You know what I'm saying? Left foot, right foot, doesn't matter. Anything in around the box, you'll find the back of the net. So if you play him in that 10 role, obviously centrally, anything that drops in and around the box, you'd bank on him at hitting the target and obviously finding the back of the net. So I think he also could be quite an important player in that system while Odegaard is out.
Guys, if I may, sorry, Lisseti, bro, do you guys not think we could maybe see a similar? Listen, obviously, I'm just maybe looking at the number 19 on his back of his jersey and having flashbacks of Santi at the Etihad. But do you guys not think Arsenal could pull a similar snatch and grab? You get your penalty, not necessarily like the same sequence, but that kind of performance. I think that's the kind of performance I'm hoping we have on Sunday, where in the first half we get like the one chance, take the lead, shock everybody, and just defend like monsters, and then again set piece, smash and grab, and I think that's where I think Trossard also really comes into play. Is like he is probably the closest player, like you said, to Odegaard that we have on a creativity level that can create out of nowhere. But at the same time, when Trossard goes missing, he goes missing, and that's the only thing I'm nervous. I just don't want to waste him. You know what I'm saying? It's like such a fine line. It's like, okay, how confident are you that Trossard's gonna have a good start, or like do you go with history and the numbers that say he's a better impact player? So let's say, bro, sorry man, you were about to say.
I was just gonna add on what Menzi was saying there and saying that like Kai's such a good threat up top. I mean, if we play the long ball, he's always first to get it, or he wins the second ball, or giving us that second ball is going to be so crucial against City. But to have Trossard there, like I get what you're saying. When Trossard ghosts, he ghosts. But oftentimes when we see him disappear, he's on the wing. I think with him being directly involved in everything that we're going to be doing, technically he's one of our best players as well. You know what I mean? Like in terms of like dribbling, taking players on, he's just one of the best players that we've got from that front. So like I really rate him, especially because if we just get, like you're saying, if we get that one chance in the first half and it falls to his feet, there's a very high chance that it's going in. I think it's a bit touch and go because I'm again getting flashbacks of that Villa game at home last season when he had that one-on-one and he shot it straight at Emi Martinez, you know. So like it's a hit or miss, but I think I'm banking on him, you know, pulling up and doing something for us on Sunday. So we'll see tonight. I think everything that we're discussing now, the team tonight will definitely give us a reflection of how we're going to look on Sunday.
100%. Obviously, we will touch in about the Atalanta game just before we end. Obviously, because obviously we'll be like an hour out. Hopefully, we'll have some team news by then as well. But yeah, guys, I just want to obviously move into another talking point that for me is actually quite a big one. Is the referee for the Sunday? Obviously, got Michael Oliver once again. It's like, it's not like I don't want to sound like a Arsenal fan complaining. It's just like I've seen this guy give us so many insane decisions against us. The Martinelli double yellow card. Then you have the lack of red card for Kovacic like last season. It wasn't even like the guy did a foul first half, second half. Those were like minutes apart. Then you get Declan
Yeah.
Rice. Obviously, you weren't the ref, but I'm just looking at the decisions against us. And again, with his history of having worked in Abu Dhabi and the city owners apparently having been the ones to pay for him to go out there, it's just an uneasy. Like I just don't like the idea of that. Not to say that the games are fixed, but every call he gives, I'm going to overanalyze. If he gives them a penalty and it's a rightful penalty, I'm still going to be like, there's some sort of bias. And if we don't get a penalty, for example, if there's maybe not a penalty, sometimes the refs give you the benefit of the doubt. Do we get that on Sunday? Are we allowed as the away team to slow the game down, to game manage, or is it like no? City get all the calls in their favor. We get stupid yellow cards. Then you end up with the red card. You know how it normally goes, guys. So
Yeah.
let me ask you, City, but what are your thoughts? Obviously, it's maybe not the biggest talking point because nothing's happened as yet. But just do you think the ref will have a big impact on the game, or do you think Arsenal and Arsenal fans shouldn't be worried about the ref? You got a game to worry about. Go and focus on winning that, or do you think the ref, might have a huge say on Sunday?
I think from a ref point of view, I don't ever like to talk too much about the ref, but as a team, we are very disciplined, in my opinion. It's very rare that we do get that second yellow, like that yellow card against Brighton for Rice was, come on, like the guy who was it that kicked it halfway down the line, was it Pedro or something?
Pedro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I'm like, dude, you're not gonna give a card for that, but you're gonna give Rice a card for just slowly, just lightly kicking the ball away. But with Michael Oliver, it can go either way. But I just say we go there, we do our job, and we just keep it moving. Focus on getting the 3 points, and whatever the ref does, if he blows in our favor, I'm here for it. If not, then it's another thing to complain about. But I firmly believe that we are a disciplined team. I think Kai's probably the person with the most yellow cards in our team, but all of those are tactical. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, let's just go out there and get 3 points, guys.
100%, bro. Ramiz, what are your thoughts, bro? Obviously, Michael Oliver being the referee with all, obviously, the history that we have with him. It's not even just against City, just as a referee. I think he's not always been the best referee in our games. I'm not here to, like I said, make excuses before the game already. I'm just simply looking at when it's all said and done, what advantage does City have? It's an advantage to have a ref that historically has shown to favor you in decisions. You know what I'm saying? He might not do it on Sunday, but it's a slight advantage they are at home. And maybe I'm just looking at it from a mind game perspective where I want every little advantage. I want to play in our red kit. I don't want to play in our black kit. Or maybe I do because it's like the black kit seems to be like something about Arsenal in black, bro. Just is like,
yeah, man,
it's killer. So yeah, I mean, your thoughts from me?
Look, I don't want to be that guy, but we've got to admit that the referees association is almost like a corrupt association. We saw it in the Fergie era with United. I'm going to be honest, we saw it with the Fergie era in United. When you watch games back, you saw we lost the invincible record there at Old Trafford. Also, it's ending now. That's what I'm saying. I mean, like, there were times where players should have been sent off. They weren't sent off. Penalties should have been given. They weren't given. You see it now also with VAR. I'm not sure the actual stats, but I'm almost certain that City have probably benefited from the most VAR calls. You know what I'm saying? So, like I know a lot of people say, try and go and win the game so that the referee is out of the equation. But the referee plays the most important role. Even if he doesn't go and send the player off, but if he gives an early yellow card, for example, to a Rice or a Partey or a Saliba, obviously it's
Yeah.
on their minds now. They obviously don't go and tackle properly or don't defend properly, and obviously makes it a bit easier. We see Rodri so many times foul players, foul, and no, it's just no yellow card, and it's blatant fouls when the opposition is trying to obviously counter attack and he's pulling them back, which should be a yellow, and it's not a yellow. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think, I'll be honest with you, there's not a single ref in the league which I feel comfortable with reffing a game. Every single one of them, because if they're not reffing you, they're in the VAR, they're with the VAR team, and either way they can obviously kill the game or whatever. I'm just hoping the ref doesn't affect us in any way with sending off so stupid penalties or basically rash decisions that spoil the game. I mean, the Brighton game, if we have 11 men, we win the game. That's never a red card.
Easily.
Second yellow.
Easily.
Listen, when it comes to the Brighton game, Ramiz, I'm not upset about the Rice red card as long as you're gonna send off Veltman. He kicked the shit out of Rice. Like,
No, that's what
oh, jokes
I always
aside,
say.
bro. Like,
But don't forget,
like, what?
this is the second time. This is the second time one of our players have been kicked like that. Do you remember? There's
Saka.
3 seasons back when
Crystal Palace.
Saka was volleyed in the air by MacArthur. Was it MacArthur or something?
Yes,
Yes.
And
Palace.
they were against Palace, right? And they volleyed him in the air when he was clearing the ball, and nothing, not even a yellow was given. I remember
Not even
that game.
VAR check.
But I always say
Dude.
I don't mind the referee's decision. If this is a foul, if this is a yellow, then every time it happens, it should be a foul. Should be a yellow. This should just be consistency.
Consistency.
Like,
Just one
about this one.
consistency, bro. That's it.
That's what I'm saying. It just needs to be consistent. It can't just be, oh, today is a yellow card, next week it isn't. You know what I'm saying? With every decision,
my
it's just
That's the issue.
That's my thing. I mean, if you look at it this past weekend that Liverpool lost, right?
Yeah.
Soberslai crosses
Yeah.
the ball after the whistle,
long
right?
afterwards.
And he not even right. You get what I'm saying? And he wasn't even given anything. He was on a yellow. And their excuse for giving Rice a yellow was what is it, in the spirit of the game, or what did they say?
The letter of the law.
The
They're
letter
going
of
by
the
the
law.
law.
Yeah.
So why was the law not applied? Liverpool are catching hands at that moment. He's frustrated, so he's kicked the ball away. He has to get a yellow. You
But
get
then
what I'm
Saliba-
saying?
If I may,
There's no letter of the law.
Against a yellow card against Spurs for committing a foul on the halfway. Where he wins the ball, he picks the ball up to say he's won it, and the ref books him to say you delaying the
You
restart.
get
of
what
play.
I'm saying? You check what I'm saying? Okay, cool. Give him a yellow card for that, right? Give him a yellow card for that. But then if now another, how many Spurs players kicked the ball? Because
Yeah.
Bentancur kicked it and Kulusevski also kicked it. Nothing happened. Nothing, and that's delaying play. You get what I'm saying? So why is there no letter of the law? My thing is with the refs, it's always about consistency. They're never consistent when it comes to us. There's different rules that apply when it comes to Arsenal, and that is something that we need to admit. Last season we lost the league. We can't lie. We lost the league based on ref decisions. That goal against West Ham,
Newcastle. Even the Newcastle one was.
the Aston Villa equalizer as well that we were denied away, that cost us the league. West Ham at home, that cost us the
over
league.
the line, guys. Let's not forget.
It's not,
Let's
dude.
not forget.
We can't lie about that. Even the Willock one, Jolinton, there was like 5 errors there or something. The ball was out. Jolinton's manhandling Gabriel. He handled the ball as well. And then can't even remember what else happened. But there was just a lot happening that day.
Also, the thing about the referees, there's no repercussions. They just think, okay, it was a bad call. Everyone makes mistakes, but you don't understand. The team has lost points. Those points at the end of the season wins you the title, loses you the title, saves you from relegation, or you get relegated. There's obviously it's not just 3 points today. It's obviously in the bigger scheme of things, every point counts. And I mean, they're killing you. And that, like you say, better referee's decision, we probably win the title at the end of the season. But like I said, nothing happens to the referees. They just go on the next game and do the same rubbish.
Literally,
Yeah, 100%. You know, look, I see there's a comment here that says, "There's from these guys already making excuses for his team."
This guy is mean.
I don't know who this guy is, but I see the Chelsea fan. He was talking about Jackson. I don't know, but what's this guy?
Yeah, and Alan obviously got another guy here saying,
He's not serious. Yes,
Malzi, I hope.
yes, I hope he did. Yes.
Well, to be fair, lads, Miles is actually my girlfriend, and I did tell her I'll only get married when Arsenal win the league. So it's been close the past 2 seasons.
Oh, man.
No,
"Shout out to your girl, bro. Shout out to your girl."
it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. Don't worry, Melzy. Arsenal's got to.
We got it.
I
Yeah,
told
Arsenal got
you,
you.
slowly.
Stop saving Ramiz.
But listen, guys. Obviously now we've spoken about City, we've spoken about Arsenal. now let's get into the like your prediction side. We're gonna go with predicted 11s. Obviously, tonight we need to obviously see what happens tonight. Obviously, we're going based off the fact of the team or what the team news we have now, that there's no fresh injuries besides obviously Odegaard, Marino, Zinchenko, Tomiyasu, Tierney. We have everyone available. Let me go. Let me start with Lesedi. Lesedi, bro, what would your ideal starting 11 be?
Okay, for tonight or for Sunday? Sunday.
For Sunday, bro. Let's go for Sunday. Yeah, Sunday.
We
100%.
keep the back four the same. Raya, White, Saliba, Gabriel, Timber. We bring in Partey, Rice. We bring in Rice at 8. We play Trossard at 10.
Mhm.
Kai up front. Martinelli on the left. Saka on the right. And then hopefully Raheem Sterling can come on and do some damage at the Etihad.
100%.
That's
Ramiz, bro. Ramiz, do you have any like anything different that you would do, or do you share the same like thoughts as Lesedi?
Yeah, I stick to the same team actually. And then obviously on the bench, we then have, if we need a goal, we throw on Jesus, we throw on Sterling. If we needed a goal, and if we need to tighten things up at the back, Calafiori is there. We can move to a back five if needed. If maybe we have a lead and we need to close the shop. So yeah, I think I agree with what Lisedi. I'll go with the exact same 11, and I feel that 11 is good enough to go to the Etihad and get the job done.
yeah.
100%.
Lindsay?
Men's, bro. What about you? What are your thoughts, bro? In terms of
No,
starting 11 or predicted 11 that you would go for, or one Sunday.
no, same team tonight, definitely, but just Rice coming in for Georgie. And then I think on Sunday, okay, wait, for tonight though, we need to make substitutions, even if we're at 0-0.
I feel there'll be some changes tonight, even to the 11 actually.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
think so.
for sure.
I think we might actually see Sterling start tonight. I don't know. I just
100%.
think that, yeah, Sterling
Nuno
starting on the
Arteta's
left.
weird, guys.
I actually think Calafiori starts at left back also. It being Timber's first 90 minutes on Sunday, I wouldn't be surprised if he gets a bit of a rest today, with obviously City in mind coming up. So I think Calafiori might also get his start.
Yeah. But I think
And
maybe
we-
he'll start Timber and then Calafiori come in later into the game, and then obviously you can always throw on Georgie and put Rice in in a back five to close up shop if we up 1 or 2-0 in the game.
Kivio, guys.
Yeah, it's not
Ranieri.
even Kivio. I forgot
I
actually.
feel
Jeez,
so sorry for Jakub. I feel so sorry.
He's
Yeah,
actually
actually,
And that guy
bro.
put in a shift for us last season.
Last season, yeah,
You-
that,
you know
yeah,
you're-
running, unbelievable.
he needs a
literally, like,
consistent run of games. For me, he needs a consistent run of games. He starts off like a Gabriel. He reminds me of Gabriel. He's a bit shaky in the beginning, but if you give him a good run of games, we might actually find ourselves with another top left centre back right there, if I'm not mistaken, because he reads the game very well. He's got a good pass on him. He's also a threat up front if you look at him as well. If you give him the chance, give him the ball. He had a couple of opportunities. He did score a goal or two, if I'm not mistaken, last season from set pieces as well. So if you look at what we have, Kivio coming in second half tonight, giving rest to a player like Gabriel, maybe somebody else coming in to give maybe Saliba rest later on 89th minute, something like that, whatever. But Sunday, I also still stick with the same team for tonight with Rice coming in. I actually also might just play Jorginho just for safety reasons, just to have a back two players at the in front of the back four, and maybe Rice in there as well. But I don't know what Rice is going to do. But yeah, just to protect ourselves. But I think that's just me being nervous against City.
Here's my thing: Saka, Rice, Saliba, Timber, all get 90 minutes tonight. That's Arteta.
What? Oh yeah.
He has to rest Saka, dude. He has to rest Saka. You know how scared I am every day that Saka plays and like he limps off. Do you know how my heart races? Because if we're not lying, if not like that is our most important player. That is our
100%. Yeah, definitely. But I think Saka's got a good game.
I think Saliba. I say you take Saliba out of our defense. We saw it 2 seasons ago when he was out, and we completely capitulated.
But we had Rob Holding, dude. Don't blame us. We had Rob.
I would agree.
Guys, we had Rob, dude. Did you see he even ended up with Kivio there?
But
yes,
we were
lost right centre back.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you know what, it was better with that right center with Gabriel and Kivio at that right center back pairing, dude. That center back pairing, because that helped when we had Rob Holding, I don't know what we were doing. Honestly, whenever Rob was playing, oh jeez, I don't,
He
I don't
still
want.
scored against City. Oh my god, he still winked. Remember, he still
Oh,
winked.
dude, I remember that hair, dude, that hair.
It's like we're
Oh,
losing, bro.
I
But
can't see
guys,
it.
let me give my predicted 11. I'm probably gonna go similar. Okay, let me touch on Sunday because that's what we're speaking about now. Sunday I'm gonna go same back five, obviously keeper, same defense, midfield. I'm stuck between either Jorginho or Partey, starting one of the two. I know that's
Yo,
gonna be a surprise a lot of people. I just think Jorginho
yo,
in this game, I don't know. People like against City in the Champions League final, he played really well. Against them at home last season, he played really well. He doesn't really play badly against City, So I don't know something about Party guys. Party seems like he's gonna get bullied. I don't know. I don't know. That's just me. Like I don't know. Like the rod. Like that's gonna sound very weird. If you look at the balance we had last season with Odegaard, Rice, and Jorginho in both games against City, we didn't really lose the midfield battle because people would think that Jorginho's physicality, but his reading of the game, his leadership is actually what I think we might need in this game. Partey, I think, would be a great player again, like last season. Second half comes on, shows his quality when the game's a bit stretch. Top ball over the top to Tomiyasu, then we score. You know what I'm saying? So that's just I'm approaching it.
yeah,
I'll probably go um, Jorginho, Rice, and then I'm probably gonna go Havertz in the midfield. I know I said I like him up front, but I'm probably gonna go Havertz in the midfield, and then up front I'm gonna go Saka, Trossard, and Martinelli. So obviously Havertz and Trossard interchanging. Let me put it like that. It's not really
yeah,
definite. Yeah, 100%. My biggest change is Jorginho starts and be over on the weekend. And then tonight, like I said, I agree with you guys. I would like to see some changes regardless of the score. But I know Arteta. I know the type of team we are. They're not going to think like us fans. They're just focused on
yeah,
tonight. Because again, you win away at Atalanta tonight, you don't even feel that you ran 90 minutes because you're coming off a high. You've won the game. Lose at Atalanta, play 90 minutes, you're gonna feel like, oh shit, I'm a bit tired going in for Sunday. So
yeah,
I think it's gonna be a very thingy fine balance of what balancing act that Arteta does tonight in terms of his starting 11. I'm confident, regardless, for tonight and for Sunday, that we can get a result. Not overly confident, but I do think we have enough. And then, guys, let's actually bring it into score predictions for Sunday. Now, this is where everybody puts their neck on the block and boldly predicts Arsenal to win 3-0. Haaland to miss a penalty. Rodri gets a red card. We got there. Ale, ale, ale. So let me go with you, men's bro. What is your
hmm.
uh sorry, I'm looking at this
score
comment. I don't
prediction.
know, Ramiz, if you know this person. If you know this, they're asking for your number, guys. Ramiz did mention he's got a girlfriend. She is actually in the comment section. So yeah, let's
Let's carry
not.
on with score predictions. Let's carry on with
Yeah,
score
let's not.
predictions.
Yeah, it's football talk. It's football talk.
Yeah, no, no.
Wait, yeah, my
But
score.
Ramiz, oh, yeah,
For,
sorry, men's your score. Sorry, bro.
tonight,
Yeah, yeah.
tonight or
Uh,
Sunday.
let's go with Sunday. Then we'll just touch in a bit on tonight. Maybe just score predictions as well. And but yeah, what your prediction for Sunday mainly?
Sunday. Yo, I'm gonna say 2-1 Arsenal.
2-1 to the Arsenal. Fair enough. 2-1
Yeah,
Arsenal. Let me write that down. Okay, we got Menzi. 2-1 dub.
hoping for a
The city,
6-0
bro.
drubbing.
Uh, I'm going 1-0 to the Arsenal. I
1-0
think
to
back to
the
back
Arsenal.
1-0. It's written in the stars for us against our rivals, eh? With a King Kai header.
King Kai header. Ooh, daggers, bro. Twitter will melt.
Oh, we need
People
one of
go
those.
crazy.
King Kai.
Definitely. And Remy, bro. What your score prediction? You're gonna go similar to the guys, a tight game. Arsenal just injured.
Yeah, Lesedi took the words out of my mouth. Good old 1-0 to the Arsenal. I was going to say Havertz winner as well, but I might go for Gabriel back-to-back games. Set piece, Gabriel winner.
Oh,
Let's go.
Big
yeah,
Gabby
I
at the
think,
back.
like I said, Jens, like I said, I think we'd all be happy with winning tonight 1-0 and on Sunday 1-0 and taking the 3 point start in the Champions League. And then again, this is another thing, is that there was so much calamity talk around Arsenal 2 weeks ago. We win on Sunday, we go first.
Sorry, yeah.
We're then still the only unbeaten team. even though we just drew to Brighton, everyone thought the world is crashing around us. That's the thing. Is like, I think as Arsenal fans, it's time we mature and realize that, guys, we a good team. Like,
Very
it's
good
not
team.
like, yeah, bro. It's not. It's not a lot of teams are gonna beat us this season. Like, we are. And again, remember, our team is also still on the up. I mean, Saka, Havertz, and Martinelli. I think none of them are over 25.
Mm.
Do you know what I'm saying? And Havertz already scored a Champions League winner. Saka's got how many games playing for England, playing for Arsenal. Martinelli, a full Brazilian international. Then you have, like you said, we got Sterling, Jesus on the bench. Your experience in Jorginho. We got a good defense. Partey still has it. Rice in the midfield. I think he's gonna have a very big game for us. I really hope that he can lock up Rodri, and really just show them exactly the quality of midfielder that we have. And then, gents, let's do your score predictions for tonight. Let's go with Ramiz again. Ramiz, bro, score prediction for tonight's game against Atalanta in the Champions League.
I go professional performance, 2-0 Arsenal. One in the first half,
2-0
one
Arsenal.
in the second on the counter. Yeah.
Okay. Do you have any fears of Atalanta, bro? I know we're almost done with the live, but I just quickly on Atalanta. Any thoughts on them? Obviously, they really turned over who's this, Leverkusen in the Europa League final last season, 3-0. So obviously they're no pushovers.
No, we can't go there thinking it's going to be an easy game, especially in Italy. I think they also knocked Liverpool out quite comfortably on the way to the final last season. So yeah, it's not going to be an easy game. I do see they've been struggling obviously since the Serie A started the season, but I think getting that first goal is so important. Obviously, against an Italian team, if they score first, it does get a bit difficult when they sit back with that low block. That's why us getting that first goal is so important for them to open up a bit. And I feel once they open up, we catch them on the counter, they'll be a bit more easy to go through. And then I think 2-0, like I say, one in the first half. They'll start opening up in the second half, and what the pace we have on the counter, we get the second.
100%. Menzi, bro, obviously you gave your 2-1 prediction for Sunday. What are your thoughts for tonight? Do you think Arsenal can make it back-to-back dubs before we play City on Sunday?
To be honest, I think so. I think tonight we are going to win. I think we with that squad that we have, keep the same game. Obviously, we're not going to really play in much of a low block because I think Arteta will trust the team a little bit more. But I think tonight we could also win maybe, I think 2-0 professional performance, like Remy said as well. Maybe a 2-0 would set us up nicely for this weekend, knowing that we're keeping a clean sheet away in Europe, and we're going to go to City to go play City when they're with their high scoring record right now. So they would be quite scared for us not conceding tonight, knowing that we're going there Sunday with the clean sheet in a North London derby, a European match, and we're going to them with 2 back-to-back clean
100%.
sheets. So
I think that's a good point you make there. I think exactly that. That's why I think today, I think Arteta is not going to make too many changes. I think he will make 1 or 2, but I think if he sees the game is still tight, don't expect Saka to come off at halftime, guys. You know what I'm saying? Like, even if we 1-0 up, I still think Saka sees a good 65, 70 minutes, and that's what I would do anyway. I want to keep the momentum in his legs. Same with Timber. Sometimes I heard De Bruyne say that, it's much better, excuse me, when you've been playing a lot of games to actually stay in momentum than being ice cold and then starting again. So I've seen some people saying bench Saka, take him off at halftime. I'm like, listen, ultimately the most important game is the one we're going to play tonight. And that's should be our main focus. It's a long season. It's only game week 1 of Champions League. We're approaching game week 5 now in the Champions League. So I'm not really buying this players are tired excuse. Rest them. It's like you rest them late on in the season then, because if we can, for example, if we can beat City on Sunday, guys, and let's just say we can qualify for the knockout stages of the Champions League by the 6th game out of 8, or maybe even 5th, however it is, then you can start to look to rest players. But now don't want to rest players in your first Champions League game, and then you can't rest them when it closer to December time, because Champions League goes all the way till January, almost end of Jan. So you're gonna, bro, it's insane. I think what the players are going through is insane. I think that's why they've been speaking out as well. But I just think that
is that
now
the group stage?
Yeah, it's a new league
group
phase.
stage in the end of Jan. It's so unnecessary,
bro. Sorry, league phase. Yeah. What?
Yeah, so unnecessary.
That's crazy.
It's crazy, bro. Then it's like, why? Okay, well, I know you can't just cancel sponsors, but then you have to then cut the Carabao Cup games, or like Carabao.
Increase squad size or something. I think at some point they got to increase squad size. They got to increase the squad size. Everybody's gonna have a squad like Chelsea.
But also the amount of international breaks and the amount of games they play. Don't mean there was no need for the Nations League. You know what I'm saying?
It's
Now they
no
play
need at all,
46
bro. What the
games in
hell?
the Nations League.
Best point.
We just
Yeah.
finished
Best point. I've
Euros.
been saying it for
Euros.
years.
I mean,
Nations
yeah, there's
Leagues is so pointless.
no need for that. Now, like you see, we lose Odegaard in
So
the
pointless.
game that meant nothing.
In a stupid, bro, 100%. But anyway,
Yeah.
Lesedi, bro, your prediction for tonight, bro. Do you think Arsenal get the dub, or do you think maybe a point in the first Champions League away game in Italy? Probably one of our two hardest games. Obviously, we play Inter Milan at the San Siro in a month's time or so. Or do you think focus on today's game, get a win, get a point, or just what it doesn't really concern you with today's result?
I'm saying 2-1. To stop an Italian team at their home ground is very challenging. Any top Italian team, you go to Turin, you play Juve, you're gonna face a difficult time there. So Atalanta is no small joke, and I know that defensively was sound, but if you look at our track record in the Champions League, we often do tend to concede away from home. So yeah, I think maybe 2-1, 3-1 to us. We definitely taking the dub though. But yeah, maybe one goal in the first half, one goal in the second half. And yeah, we just keep it moving and then we focus on Sunday.
100%. So,
Yeah.
gents, I obviously got wins for Arsenal in each two games. I think everybody's feeling a lot more confident, especially after that North London derby defeat. Let me see what the comments are saying. Okay, let me see if there's anyone. Yeah, this. Okay, these are not really football related. So I'm not really gonna go through some of them because I feel like some of them are slightly extra. I think Ramesh, you've got quite a good fan base for us here, bro. I might have you on a few more shows, bringing in the numbers.
There was someone that
Um,
mentioned Sporting, Rice, Party, and Jorginho on Sunday. So Nicholas,
Bro,
you mentioned
that's
that.
too defensive in my opinion. But that's literally. And listen, I'm not against going to Etihad and stinking out a point. I just feel like our defense. We've got we like how many years are we into Arteta's reign? We have an identity, so we can, like, for example, if the game is changing, you might be able to quickly shift into a defensive pattern for 10 minutes. It doesn't require you
Yeah,
to have 8 defensive players on the field to be good defensively. You know what
yeah,
I'm saying? I just wouldn't want to see such a defensive team. I just don't know where the creativity comes from if you got Jorginho, Rice, and Partey in the midfield. That's what I'm saying. Jorginho or Partey, one of them, they're gonna have to sit for. And for me, I'm putting Partey on the bench. That's just me.
I think us as Gunners, because of all the pain we've had in the past, we're not realizing how good we actually are right now. Like at the
yeah.
level
And that's what I've been
that
saying, bro. It's
we can
PTSD.
actually go to Man City and go pound for pound with them. I understand 5, 6, 7 years ago, any away fixture against the top 6 was basically we'd be praying. You know what I'm saying? We'd go there and praying for us. But
Exactly.
now last season, home and away, no top 16 beat us. So I think we sometimes forget how good we actually are right now, that we can go to all
2
these
for
places.
2.
That's what I'm saying.
2 for
Go there and
2.
get that out.
Sorry,
Well,
I
and
just
Spurs.
had to search the starting lineup.
Yeah, I saw that.
So
You
he's,
got it, eh?
No.
yeah, sorry,
Oh,
I'm
you're a
beat.
legend.
That's
I
why
was
I'm
actually going to ask, man.
Nah, that's perfect, man. Nah, let me check.
so yeah, he's slotted Rice back in, and he's took off Trossard, and he's put Havertz in the midfield. With Jesus up front, Saka, Martinelli. So it's 3 midfielder: Rice, Partey, Havertz, Saka, Jesus, Martinelli, Timber, Gabriel, Saliba, White, and obviously David at the back.
Oh,
I
I
told you
still
guys,
think that's solid team.
guys. No, it
I
is.
still
It's like
think that.
I told you.
Yeah.
He
Do you know what
doesn't
happens
tinker.
is
He
that
doesn't tinker.
I don't know who said it earlier. I don't know if it was Ramiz that said it earlier. Is that Jesus likes to drop into the midfield a bit, so you can tell with kickoff. Let's just say from a goal kick, Kai would be up front trying to win that duel up in the air, and then you've got Rice running off. You've got Martinelli and Saka and Jesus also maybe pulling a few strings as a false 9, if you could say. It could work. I think Jesus is built for the Champions League. Also, sometimes like these beginning stages,
Gotta give him
this
that.
type of
yeah.
competition. So
Yeah.
yeah, I think also keeping Trossard on the bench for that second half. Like I don't know who said it earlier, but actually everybody said it when he comes on
He's
Yeah.
an
as
impact
an
player, bro.
impact
He's
sub.
an impact player.
And also saving him for Sunday. I think he's also become that important player that you've also got to save his legs also for Sunday, because he can always start a game and he can always come into a game as well. He's that flexible player, that bench player that can always start or come in, etc. when you need him.
I know the series not too happy, but I think like you're saying, obviously we're gonna end. So let me not hold you guys too late. But I think with Jesus, if you remember the game against Luton last season, him and Havertz linked up brilliantly in that double pivot. That shadow
Yeah.
striker
Yeah.
number 9. I think that game. Obviously, we conceded 3 goals, which is kind of uncharacteristic from us. But the
You know what I mean?
goals were like Havertz and Jesus were all over that. So that's the only I've seen it work, but I also agree with the city. I've seen it not work, and what I think you have a better chance experimenting tonight with it than on Sunday. Like if it doesn't
Yeah.
work tonight, don't try it again on Sunday. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
I
that's
don't mind it tonight.
I
that's
think
very
also with
fair.
Havertz with that from midfield, maybe the late runs into the box from crosses, you could get onto those as well. Those late runs
Yes.
not noticed by the defenders. Him going on the back post, we often see Saka coming onto his left and finding the cross onto the back post. So it also could be a thing. I mean, look, Jesus is not a bad option up top. I think he can do the job for us. We've seen, like Sean said, in the early stages of the Champions League last year. I mean, he was looking like he was meant for the Champions League. The way he was playing under the lights, there was some unbelievable performance last season. Some big goals
Yeah.
he scored. So we'll see how it is.
Yeah.
He said he was looking sharp in preseason. He was unfortunate to get a bit of an injury. So let's see how if he gets back
Yeah.
to that.
He's always injured. Guy.
Yeah,
It's
no.
Sorry,
Mate.
sorry, man.
Look, guys, if he scores for us tonight, we'll be singing his name. I believe in Jesus, the
Yeah,
Arsenal
facts.
man.
Yeah,
Yes, man.
gentlemen.
I sing his name also if he
Obviously,
scores. I don't care. You know what I'm saying?
guys, I want to thank you all for coming onto the show. Obviously, all of you guys making your, what I could say, debuts on the show. I think it's been a really good discussion. I think the energy this panel has been really good. Gents, obviously, thank you so much for coming through. To the people
Thank
in the
you.
comments and all our viewers, obviously, thank you guys for continuing to support this channel. Obviously, this is all for love of Arsenal. So if you are an Arsenal fan, please subscribe to the channel. If you are just a football fan in general, I will be launching my new show, The Toxic Show, which I'll be airing for the first time next week, Monday. So obviously, I want to have some Gunners on there. I'll have some Chelsea fans, some Spuds, and I'll check some Spurs fans, some City fans, Liverpool United. It's all about football. So
Yeah.
that's the
We
show
should
that
do a
I'll be
watch
airing
along,
Monday
bro.
for the first time. Yes, bro. So guys, another thing I'd also want to mention is I will be going to Coppers in what's it, Broadacres on Sunday to watch the game there with some of the Gooners there. So if you guys are keen, come through. We also have different venues, guys, that are hosted by Goonercast SA, and they are hosting events in the East in Bedfordview, in Soweto. Like I said, Coppers in Broadacres, and then obviously a few others around the city. So if you are looking to get in touch with some of the Arsenal fan base in South Africa, or let's say more Joburg, those are the locations that you can find. I'll post them on my story after this. But gentlemen, as I said, Ramiz, bro, thank you so much for coming through. Menzima,
Man.
bro, as always, it's a pleasure to be in touch with you again. And Lesedi, bro, I'm gonna need you to hook me up with one of these shirts of yours, bro. Like you're the guy with all the drip. Gentlemen, like I said, thank you so much. And to everybody, guys, as always, guys, remember it's good to be a Gooner. Cheers.
Always.
Cheers, guys.
The Gunners.
Cheers, boys.